Hey everyone, so now I'll be explaining you about how you can create a function with arguments, and okay, now just check it out. Okay, so for this function argument, there are a lot of things, not just like as we explained you in before, just to create a function. There are three things there. One, to create a function, what you need to do is maybe it's good if I start from beginning, right? Function with arguments dot mojo. Okay, I'll be keeping them side by side so that you will able to understand, because I'll be pushing it this one because I have it a more detail here on a GitHub. So I'll be keep putting it, keeping them side by side so that you'll able to understand them. Okay, so to create a function, fn and function name, right? Any name that you want to do, then any argument that you want to give, and its type. Okay, and if you want to give another variable, and like here and like this. Okay, over here in Python is different from what Python do and for on Python what we do. So in Python what we do is we type it like this, Python in a small letter, but here it's different. We type it in a capital letter, you know. And to create a function, we use fn and instead of def, right? And once we have those details, then we can type it here, the type, return type of it, like what it will return. So it will return us for an integer value. So I'll be returning it x plus y, right? Okay. Now let's just call this function in main. Okay, and add one and two, right? Now let's run. Clear it up. Mojo function. Good. So integer is unused. See why we are getting this error? You may be thinking it, right? So what it returned after that, it's not been used, right? We must be assigning those value to a variable or just print it out. So if I run it now, you will see that we got 1 plus 2 as the return of 3. Return value as 3, right? Now let's understand some more details in depth. Okay. So as those variable that we sent it here, right, are local variables to it. They are not changed if I make it here. So if I create a variable here, right, and var x integer 1 or y integer 2, and if I send it here x and y, right, and run it now, now you see var must never mutate. Consider switching it to late. So what it's telling me that X was declared as var, right? But never mutate. So we haven't changed it, those values. And that's why it's telling me to create it into let, because we are not changing those value of x for this for here for our function. And if I run it, I got correct answer, right? So it tells me a good way how you can define the variables. And it will tell me about more other details. Okay. Okay. Now create a function with same function with a different details. We want to change the value of x and y. Right. For that, what you can do. So over here, if I type it in out, okay, So instead of firstly, I'm explaining you in out because we want to change the value of x and y in our function. So it's the way, and in out is a type here. My habit of using input is more, and that's why my I'm getting a typo error again and again, right? And if I return it, before return, if I change the value of x to 1, y to is it 2, then return x plus y, then if I run it, I will get an error because of what? Because we are changing it, you know. And if I call this function like this, and here I'll be sending it to x and y, right? So you see, in out x argument must be mutable in order to pass it. So we need to change those variable type to var so that those errors will be removed, right? And if I run it, you'll see this. I got the result. And if I type it now and print it here, x or y, you'll see that those values are changed. You see, from 1, x is changed to 2, y is changed to 4. So in this way, now the values of x and y we can increase, we can change it by using inout because it's giving a function that you use a global variable and inout creates a copy of it and change it. I wrote it here, all the details maybe for you to understand. Yeah. Other ways you can use it borrowed. Borrowed is a immutable. So if I create any variable with borrowed, then I will not able to change it in a function. So if I type it here x plus y in a borrowed, and it will show me an error because borrowed never borrowed variable will not able to change the type of it. you know so you see here we are getting an error. So in borrowed we'll not able to change, they are they are mutable. And another way is declare argument with own. So what own do is provides full ownership of the value, mutable and guaranteed unique. And this way function can modify the values and not worry about affecting variable outside the function. So normally in what we do is in a python is we increase the value in a function, and after that we don't want those change that we did it in a function to be there in our main function or main variables. For that you can do it this way: function add on, I I am typing it the function name of it, and on maybe any variable. Z is what I'm typing it here, and integer, and return type is int, and I want to increase the value of z and return the z, and let's create a variable z for us here, and now all on it and return the value of z. Now print the value of z after it increased the value function. Now, so okay, so it's telling me the details. It's giving me a warning that what that has never been used, you know, never been modified. So create it to that, because when you use on, it creates a copy of it and use that. And whatever the change we did, it will be remain in there. And after that, it will remove those variable once the function call is been finished. So in this way, you can do all the things and in out means in out, borrowed, own by default what value we have it, right? So I hope you liked it, and I'll share these details with you. Okay. Another thing I forgot to explain you is okay. As what own do is it creates a copy of the variables, right? And that can be a time consuming thing, right? So you can see it here. Now we don't want to make a copy but give ownership, right? For that you can use this symbol on a variable that we are sending it, and it will destroy the local variable x, and you will get an error on printing it later, so if I created this call to like this app app will be at the last of the variable name, and if I type it later this z, then I will get an error that because it's already destroyed this variable z. Okay, let's see. So that declared here. Okay, what it tells me that error use of uninitialized variable, because what this do is it destroys the variable once it's been called. So if I remove this, and it will run. Okay, so failed to run the pass argument. Okay, so what it's telling me. Okay, so over here that was declared var but never been muted. Consider let it let. Okay. But you see we are not getting the error. If I type again target, then I will get an error that is not declared. So must make sure that you use